When this video is done, you are going to go and do some things. First, you're going to create a new Google form. Then you're going to kind of just play with the menus and buttons and familiarize yourself with what it does. And then last, you're going to try out wording different types of questions. Some tips to consider as you're doing this. One, you're going to want to give your survey a straightforward and simple name. And also customize your survey's look to match your topic. You might need to upload a custom image. Remember, it needs to be 800 wide by 200 tall. And also think about how each type of question offers different advantages. And think about which type of question responses will be the most beneficial to you. So let's get started. You're going to begin by going to your Google Drive and choosing New. Under the More menu, choose Google Forms. First thing you'll want to do is name your form, and again, something simple and straightforward is going to be best. My essay is going to be about persuading my parents to get me a cat. So it's called Benefits of Having a Pet. And then the next thing you want to do is customize the look. If you go up to the paint palette in the top right corner, you can choose plain colors, which is fine. However, I think it's kind of nicer to have a custom look that goes with your topic. So if you click the image icon, it does have built-in images kind of by category. So maybe your topic has something that matches up with this. But let's say I kind of browsed through and I didn't see any pictures that matched my topic. You can click on Upload Photos here towards the bottom, and then you can select a photo to drag in. So I did a Google image search, and know that when you are doing a search, you can hover over the picture and it'll tell you the picture size. You need to have one that's 800 by 200. So I found this one here, and I just dragged it to my desktop, or you could copy it to your Google Drive. And then when you come back, you just have to click to drag a photo. Mine was on my desktop, to drag that photo into your spot. It'll upload. You might get an error message that says this image is too small, and if that happens, that just means you didn't do 800 by 200. You can click and drag, or if you want to center things a little bit better, you can, and then push select. Note that it automatically chooses background colors that match, so I'm kind of stuck with the gray. So once you get the look how you want it to be, the next thing you're going to want to do is go to the settings in the top and change some of the permissions. You might want to only let people in IST 271 take the survey. So if that's the case, keep that checked. If you want only people to only give one response so people can't duplicate, check that. I'm going to do mine like this. And then when I'm finished with that, I'll push save. So now you are ready to start exploring the different menus and types of questions. So if you click up here on the pop-up, these are the different types of questions that are offered in a Google form. And every question has a different advantage or benefit depending on the kind of information that you want to collect. So let's talk about multiple choice versus checkbox. So multiple choice question might be, how does having a pet help you? And then you can just, and it does offer you, it'll offer you a suggested question type. So you notice it went to paragraph. I wanted it multiple choice, so I clicked back. So I might say one reason is it teaches responsibility. Let's say, I might say having a pet teaches me to be less selfish because I have to take care of it. A benefit could be they can help me de-stress if I'm going through a hard time. Maybe being able to hold a pet or talk to a pet might help me out. Maybe it offers comfort when you're feeling lonely. Maybe you think having a pet would give someone to talk to. So let's say multiple choice. So when you did multiple choice, the one thing that it does is limit people who are taking your survey, your respondents, to only picking one answer. And sometimes you want that. you want them to give a definite, solid answer. But in this case, I'm looking and thinking, you know what? I think it would be great if people could check as many as they think. So then I would switch it to checkboxes. So when they look at that survey with the checkboxes, it would let them pick as many as they wanted. Versus multiple choice, let's just take a peek here. Multiple choice would only let them choose one choice. So it forces them to pick one. So both are great types of questions, but they both have advantages. So that was multiple choice. I am going to click the plus sign and add another question. This time we're going to take a look at the difference between a short answer and a paragraph. So let's say you were wanting to be open-ended and you wanted to say, what are the top 3 benefits of having a pet? And if you were to choose short answer, let's just preview it. This is what it would look like to someone taking it. That might not look like enough space to somebody. So that's a short answer. If I were to go back and change that one to paragraph, let's take a peek at it now. It just gives a little bit more space for people. So that's a short answer versus paragraph. And then the last one I'm going to add another question you might want to do is called a drop-down menu. A drop-down menu is a good choice when you have a lot of options and you don't want people to have to scroll really far down a screen. This will give you a pop-up. So what if I said, how many minutes a day do you spend with your pet? And I wanted to give maybe 1 to 5, 6 to 10, 11 to 15, 16 to 20, all right, so if we were to preview this, what a drop-down would look like is this, and then they could pop this down and just choose the one. That's their answer. So that's kind of a nice advantage versus like this one where people might have to scroll down a lot. So that's a drop-down menu. So those are the 3 probably most common types of questions that people use, and it's not to say there aren't others that are going to be beneficial for yours, but those are the most common. A couple other things to note of things that you could do. Plus is just to add a question. You can add like a subheading or to break up your text. It does let you add images or video, and you can make sections in your survey that branch. So if someone answers yes, it takes them to a separate set of questions. It gets a little bit more complex, but it's totally doable. So those are kind of the basic things that'll get you started on this first lesson. And so remember, your job now is going to be to go and create a new form, play with the menus and buttons, try the wording with different types of questions, and then again, the things to consider as you're making your survey.